Example 2. Complete each table of values and then plot the ordered pair. See graph figure 4 attached when we're ready to graph those points. But first we have to determine the table of values which will generate the points that we then need to plot and draw the straight line. First, part A, we have the equation 2x minus 5 equal 10. And what we've done here is generated several points. We only need 2 points to graph a straight line, but we will start by generating several points. To begin with, you must always assign a value to one of the variables and then determine the other value. In this case, to get the first point, we assign x a value of 0, and through simplification we find that y is equal minus 2. Then we turn around to get a second point by assigning a value of y equal to 0. And by doing so and simplifying the equation, we find that x is equal to 5. To get a third point, I'm assigning a value of minus 5 to x, and then through simplification and solving, we find that y is equal to minus 4. And then for this fourth and final point, I assign y a value of minus 3. And then we solve for x, getting x to be minus 5 over 2, or minus 2.5. Now if we go to the figure, and if you look at the line that we call line A, you'll see the points that we just put in the table. Each of those points is on this line. So that becomes the line graph for those set of ordered pairs. Next we'll go to part B, where we have the equation 2x plus 3y equals 6. Once again we will select 4 points, but again we have to assign a value to one of the variable and then calculate the second value. So if we let x equal to 0, then we'll find that y is equal to 2. If we let y equal to 0, then we'll find that x is equal to 3. If we allow x to equal minus 3, we'll find that y is equal to plus 4. And finally, if we assign y a value of 3, then x will have a value of minus 3 over 2, which is minus 1.5. Then looking at the graph, look for line B, and you'll see those points already plotted. Although the instruction didn't require that we draw the line, it only required that we plot the points. We'll ultimately need to draw the line, so I went ahead and had us draw the line. Okay. Part C. The equation is y plus 3 equal to 0. Again, you'll notice there's no variable x in this equation, only y. So that means that we can solve this for y and say that y is equal minus 3, which means the y value is fixed. So once again, we can assign any value we want to x. So I assign x to have a value of 0, plus 2, minus 2, and plus 4. But notice, to each of those x values, I assign a specific value, which is minus 3 for y. That has to be the case. And thus, any equation that has y equal a specific value will be a horizontal line. So all of the points that we have in part C, as we go to the graph, will have a horizontal line because the y value is fixed. So if we look at equation C, on the line C for the equation, you can see we have a horizontal line there. Each of those points has a value of y of minus 3. Next we'll go to D. D, we have the equation x minus 4 equal to 0. And we'll notice once again there's no y in this equation. Therefore, y can take on any value, any real number value, but x is going to be fixed. But looking at this equation and solving for x, we'll see that x is fixed to be equal to 4 by solving. So notice here, in each case, X is fixed to have a value of 4. Y can be any value we assign to it, and which we assign 0, plus 1, minus 1, and 3. So when we do get to the graph, we'll see that the graph for this equation should be a vertical line. It's equation D, which you notice is a vertical line, and there are the 4 points that we just indicated. Okay. Example 3. Part A. Represent each word problem with the linear equation. B. Then express each equation as an ordered pair. Part A. Answer to Part A. It costs, the problem first and then the answer. It costs $20 plus $5 per day to rent a car. Therefore, the cost to rent the car for X days is given by the equation that follows, where Y is in dollars. The equation should be Y equal 5X plus 20. Part B. When the car is rented for 6 days, the cost is $50. So we want to represent the ordered pair, which would be 6, 50. 6 days, $50.